Premier League star Antoine Smith.
Come off the grill. Chuchu, come off the grill. Alright, I think so. Now we're start now, guys. Now we don't until the music finish.
True indicator of anything in the football world, but there is a huge difference between these two nations in terms of populations. Panama is home to around 4.5 million people. Ghana plays host to roughly 7 times as psyched up and wound up, ready for the action to begin. There will be nerves, there will be a whole lot of excitement, and there will be a whole lot of hope too that their respective countries can show the poise and passion required at this level. As we in earnest count down to kick-off, and the rain starts to tumble from the sky above. The surface well watered by the ground staff here, and Mother Nature is lending a hand.
Yeah, both these sides are very familiar with hostile environments, and the atmosphere in here is absolutely, you can almost cut it with a knife. But playing in Panama, you get those type of atmospheres, they get right behind their side, second to none. The support for the Africans is here too. There's a lot of yellow in the stadium at this moment.
It's Ghana all in yellow, Panama all in red. Both sides looking to be lively from the off, and an offside flag against the Ghanaians. And pause the early moments of attacking thrust while some redress themselves with the conditions switching right on kickoff.
As the game starts off here, I was kind of wondering whether Carlos Queiroz would play a little bit more defensive, especially with not getting results for sort of 6 games. You don't want to give away anything early on, especially. So it is intriguing from that standpoint of what you're going to get from this Ghanaian side.
There's no wins in the last 6 games in all competitions for Ghana. 5 successive defeats before they drew their last warm-up game, 1-1 in Cardiff against Wales. With a real spring in the step after qualification, and with the general feeling around the squad too, as they go in search of an early opener. And it's thwarted by a fabulous save. Terrific football all round there.
Absolutely brilliant by both sides there. Good ball in, good save by Ziggy as well. Getting his hands warmed up early on in the match.
Cecilio Waterman it was who came close, and here he is trying to rekindle the Panama attack. Ghana for a moment on the back foot, Trying to make sure the back door is closed. Touch from Rodriguez. Back towards Andrade. Forward by Colasavi. It's kept alive here for Murillo. He has a few to look for in the middle. And that will be a goal kick to the relief of Ghana, who had an early scare there.
Did they ever? This was a brilliant ball into the box. Lots of pace. Not the easiest to get in front of the defender. Does so. What an athletic save that is. You really see what Panama wants to do here when they're certainly in the final third, Ghana, but they're trying to press as much as they possibly can. That's sort of their MO. Get a lot of bodies in the box when they get crosses in too. None of them have to be very wary of picking up men.
Great save that by Lawrence Antizigi, who played all 3 group stage games at the last World Cup. Cecilio Waterman with a fine effort there to extend the goalkeeper. Waterman, nicknamed Aquaman for obvious reasons, his surname as it is.
Yeah, he'll stay very central, and he's definitely a target man to pick up the long balls into his speed, as well as getting on the end of crosses from wide positions. He's always in and amongst it.
And Waterman is 35 years of age, part of the oldest squad at the tournament in Panama. Average age for the Panama squad of over 30. Super effort.
Fantastic save. Good one for the cameras, as they say.
There you go, Panama once again. Looking to make their mark in the early moments. This is Cesar Blackman. Happy to cut in on that right foot. Jose Cordoba. We'll start again with Barcenas dropping deep. Player who really can make things happen for them on his day, as can this man, Rodriguez. Trying to spin it into the middle. A few left it, perhaps there are a few shouts in there, and ultimately it comes to nothing for those in red. Andrade back to Cordoba. Now across to Giovanni Ramos. That's an interesting ball forward. Antizigi was after it immediately. Maybe taking out Christian Martinez in the process. Very quickly gets up and gets on with it.
Yeah, there wasn't an awful lot there. Getting the jeers from this crowd.
Senaya. Forward for the developing run of Bianchi. He was nearly sent tumbling, did really well to keep it all alive. Might roll out here for the strike. And now the offside flag is raised. Might well have been that the ball just tiptoed over the line as well for a goal kick to Panama.
And there's the shot. This gets a little bit of a foot on his arm. That's not going to get you the call.
Said a goalkeeper.
Yeah. Panama very comfortable with 3 at the back. Blackman will drop in as a 4 if necessary. Comfortable on the ball.
It's always interesting to watch the position of Barcenas as well, isn't it? Because he's happy to drop deep and then suddenly break forward. those players who really does help make them tick. Certainly plenty who are full of running in either side today. Blackman to take the throw here. Happy to have the ball back again, and his legs are swept away from underneath him. But actually the free kick is going to go Ghana's way here, because before the foul there was an offside.
Pulled out to the assistant, looking right along the line. Very tight.
Well, so many of a Ghana persuasion in the crowd, including Asamoah Gyan cheering on his country today. Ghana's all-time top scorer, the scorer of their first ever World Cup goal. Not only their top scorer out of World Cup finals, but the top African scorer too. One goal ahead of Cameroon legend Roger Milla. And he's quite a character, Asamoah Gyan, quite the footballer, quite the dancer too, as we've seen with his celebrations. And he surprised the Ghana squad by visiting them at their hotel yesterday, and they've all ended up in a good old party with plenty of smiles. And it goes off Cesar Blackman, who applauds the ball to him in the first place.
He does incredible work up and down that flank. They can pick him out, got a good touch, can deliver a good ball into the box as well to cement a live lead from Panama.
Well, both coaches will take positives from the way their sides have started in good heart. Look on by Jordan Ayew. Such an important part of the plan for Ghana. 7 goals, 7 assists in qualifying. Today he becomes their oldest World Cup player, surpassing Dennis Odoi's record. Also becomes their all-time record appearance maker. He was level with his brother before kick-off on 120 caps. Now he nudges ahead on 121.
He's been incredibly effective and important for this national team. As far as league football goes with Leicester City, not the greatest of seasons for him, to be honest. The twilight of his career. Well, back-to-back relegations for Leicester City in England, so not a happy way for him to leave the club. He's looking for a new club for the new season. 10 minutes gone. Both sides settling into proceedings here. This is Andrade for Cordoba. For Ramos. Oh, we've had to Mosquera on the occasion of his 50th cap. Cordoba. And Andrade. Made 7 appearances in World Cup qualifying. Part of the Panama setup, who was runner-up in the Gold Cup 3 years ago. Fouled by Antoine Semenyo, who will be key, you'd think, to Ghana's cause today. Yeah, and you mentioned about the Gold Cup, and Panama has performed very well in that, as well as the Nations League, getting to the final, losing to Mexico on men's.
Oh, and it's deflected and could quite easily have gone anywhere. Gideon Mensah delighted to just stick it away and hope for the best.
Great ball in. Rodriguez gets himself in a wider position that time and delivers one in, causing some danger. Corridor of uncertainty.
Are you trying to win the ball back for Ghana? Barcenas trying to make something happen. Now is in a room for the counter. Very little support then for Ernest Duama. recovered from an ACL injury to just about make the squad. Player who's played very little football during the course of the season, just 3 substitute appearances in the league, totaling 34 minutes. So you could argue maybe he's not up to speed, or maybe he's very fresh.
Yeah, it can work both ways. Certainly showing his power, but also showing the pace that Panama have for that backline to be able to deal with that.
Came on as a substitute in the friendly against Wales in Cardiff at the beginning of this month. His first cap for over a year due to that injury. Tidied up neatly by Barcenas. Ramos stepping forwards. Harvey on to Andrade. Across towards Blackman. Seen away by Sanaya. Andrade. Waterman the target here. He set off nice and early, but he was watched all the way by Pompoku and Ajeti.
Panama can change things up as well. They can play that long direct pass into the they're very comfortable, well coached by Christensen. He knows these players as well as any team would know anyone playing with them as long as he has. Great success.
That's the beauty of having stability, isn't it, I guess? That's what Panama have under Thomas Christensen. Under a little bit of threat here for the moment. Ajeti's ball across. This is Opoku. Trying to keep it moving, looking for Antoine Semenyo. That buzz around the stadium as he gets on the ball. Start to the season at Bournemouth, he carried that on and then some with Manchester City. Urenchi trying to slide it through. The gap which suddenly closed up, and then Urenchi will go in the ball for that. Barcenas. Early yellow.
Well-deserved yellow. Great work. Barcenas getting in front of the player, just creating a little bit of a situation where he hasn't got anything else to do, is grab him. It's sort of unnecessary, not in an area of the pitch that was really going to hurt you, and an early yellow card isn't exactly what you want.
So much character on the field, so much positivity off the field for both these sides coming into this competition. And they have sat and watched everyone else have a go pretty much.
Yeah, it's a long wait. I think I would rather have the game in the first few days just to get things going. Obviously, it goes well for you, but it's a long wait. A lot of training. Disruptions as well along the way.
I guess that might be a positive thing for Ghana, having had precious little time with Carlos Queiroz before the competition. Now we're itching to get going, as you can see from the way they've started. Urenchi with a dangerous bouncing ball. And the work rate from Waterman in the end not quite rewarded the way he wanted.
You like to see that from your front players. The defense has to start with Panama from the front. Obviously, the danger, the pace that kind of have on the counterattacks could be dangerous.
Quite got him going yet, Antoine Semenyo. Largely the ball has belonged to Panama in this first quarter of an hour. Goes for a Panama ball. Ramos. Harvey. Back for Cordoba. Charlie forwards. Watched away by Gideon Mensah. Martinez just didn't give him a minute. They generally don't in Reds.
No, it's excellent. The pressure is very good, and it has to be because obviously with the pace we talked about and the dangerous players that you're gonna have, it definitely hurt you if they give it time and space. And the confidence obviously for Ghana can't be as high. Just been lead into this World Cup with the poor results that they had, and also had trouble scoring goals. So keeping a clean sheet would be first and foremost in the back of their minds.
Yeah, they won the qualification group, emerging victorious from 8 of their 10 games, losing just once. It seems pretty straightforward, but they were kept firmly on their toes throughout, needing added time winning goals to edge past Mali and Madagascar. And coach Otto Addo still got fired after back-to-back friendly defeats in March, leading to this spell without a win. 6 games now, in total 5 defeats in that run. So rebuilding confidence is key for Carlos Queiroz. Semenyo waiting for the cross, which didn't quite find him from Mensah.
It has to be difficult for a manager, even with the experience that Carlos Queiroz has, to get the team going with his lack that confidence. But if anybody can do it, it's him. He's definitely in a different place in Panama at the moment.
Martinez for Waterman, who has precious little support and a fair few in his way. Just had a shot there, the Ghana goalkeeper Noran Satisigi was frantically backpedaling, suddenly realised he was way out of goal. If Waterman had won the physical battle. Renchi moving it on. Wusu likewise. Comes forward by Ajeti. Offside.
One thing that frustrates teams and managers is the fact that you get a ball like that, you can see right along the back line. Good starting position for Panama, we'll credit them, but also, from Ghana's point of view, if you're looking across the line, you've got to make sure you're in a position where you're not offside.
Santiago Solari there on the right, formerly of Real Madrid, where he actually played under Carlos Queiroz. They won the Spanish Super Cup together in 2003. They got to the final of the Copa del Rey the following year, and as a player, Solari won La Liga twice, the Champions League once, and various other honours too. Before collecting plenty more silverware in Italy with Inter Milan. Made by Cordoba. Once again, Waterman up there on his own with a few to tangle with.
Some very big men, physically strong. One of it's decent size, but those two centre backs are massive. He's going to need everything to be able to battle with them. So good individual battle going on this one.
It's that risk and reward. The battle in the mind, isn't it? How much do you push forward knowing that you want to keep things sensible at the back as Jordan Ayew is down, holding his head.
Well, players physical, I didn't see an awful lot in that. The referee did well to play on and then stop it because of a potential heading.
And that's the last action before we take in the first of our hydration breaks here in Toronto.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. Rooted in connection, driven by community. It's who we are and the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
Get in the game, get in the game.
Get in the game!
It's game time.
Check it out, flip code and WhatsApp 876-470-4397 for win! Cash money, $50,000 bi-weekly winners! Big screen TVs, fridge and coolers. So when we do get restarted here, we'll hope for a little bit more in the final thirds from these two sides. We haven't had an effort since the 5th minute of the game. Various players on the fringes a little. We've got to get stuck in a little more. In the crowd doing their bit for sure.
Well, it's an absolute visual masterpiece what we've seen in this World Cup. All the games have just been wonderful to see the joy of it, cheer in the crowd, and just seeing the atmosphere around the cities has just been second to none. That's what the World Cup's all about.
So we'll get back underway here with a Panama throw. Cesar Blackman doing the honours. Semenyo trying to chase down here as Ramos moves it on. Semenyo, who's had just 6 touches of the ball so far, the joint fewest number of those on the field. And this Rama stepping in to get Ghana going again. Ali Suleimana likewise. for Jetty. Shania once again. Hasn't had too many opportunities to attack, and now they've brought to a very quick halt.
That was the first time Ghana has actually had an attack against a very organized block, if you like, in the back for Panama and getting at them. You see why maybe counter-attacking football may be better for them. They are pressing sort of fits and starts, which really is. To do it as a unit, as a team, and they haven't done that yet. Matching what I know Carlos downs of just about everything in football, but still doesn't take away from the fact it's a very difficult appointment for him.
Shania, who was one of those who didn't actually play in qualifying for Ghana. He made his debut on the senior side at the end of March. Hopes raised there as Sulemana was trying to gallop away from the Panama defence. Ball picked up by Ayew. Helped on by Owusu, who has it back again there. Towards Noima. Off the head of Blackburn. Punching challenge between the two. The kind of tackle we perhaps don't fancy after a nasty ACL injury, but Noima stood up well to it. Yurechi. Tumbling, falling on the ball. Ill-advised on a yellow card, but he does get the free kick.
That'll be the first time has had a chance to threaten on a set piece. The referee thought about it. It was definitely a grab.
Well, a touch of Hollywood in the stands with American actor Anthony Mackie of Captain America fame enjoying this Group L clash. It's just wondering what Ghana might come up with from this set play, which has been placed with purpose by Jordan Ayew.
Big man in there.
Floated it neatly, but not easily seen away. Martinez, as ever, just sticking the head in where many wouldn't. His energy, his enthusiasm has won the ball back.
Yeah, really well from him. It really is good work. And, Martinez does well to close that space down. That's typical of what he can do. His work rate is brilliant. And he forces them to give up possession.
He got the ball rolling, really. Christian Martinez in this qualifying campaign, scoring a goal in the opening qualifier, all the way back in June of 2024. Marcenas trying to squeeze down the line past Shania.
Marcenas just drifts in and around the midfield, looking for those little pockets of space. Good footballer, good vision, good way to pass when he's got some time on the ball.
Blackburn just paying there for a bit of a slack first touch. Just got caught on the way through. Second World Cup finals appearance for Panama. They finished bottom of the group in 2018 in Russia, losing all 3 games. They conceded 11 goals in the process. 3-0 defeat to Belgium, a 6-1 hammering at the hands of England, before being edged out 2-1 by Tunisia. Conceded more goals than any other side. at the fourth lowest possession in the tournament, struggling to make their mark, but already signs here today that they're a different outfit this time around.
I would agree with that. Yeah, much more comfortable than they were 8 years ago. Better side. A couple players from that 2018 team are still here. Arsenio's being one of them.
They do bring with them a fair bit of experience as well as some youth and enthusiastic youngsters. Martinez trying to get on the end here. Down he goes. A lot of appeals from the stands, but in truth, not too many from the field.
No, the referee's well placed, but there was some contact there for sure. It'll be interesting to see what happens on the replay.
And now it's Martinez and Waterman and Barcenas. Moving on to Rodriguez. Blackman, with options arriving in the middle. Held tight by Andrade, who stepped up just a little too close to a goalkeeper who was clattered. Maybe the challenge and the reaction dividing opinion a little out there.
There's pretty good goalkeeping because you know there's going to be some contact here. There's certainly one little bit of Oku is the own defender coming in there as well. And here is this opportunity where there was an appeal. Martinez. Is there enough there? Not clear and obvious. But a tight call with a really clever run and a good ball in. It's causing Ghana some problems in behind.
It's one that you'd shout for, isn't it? But ultimately, I think maybe the referee explaining there to Christian Martinez, he never truly had full control of the ball. It goes into the category perhaps of coming together rather than a foul.
And I think the players, they appeal for it because in the interpretation of referees, it can be different. And the angles of different referees. We see with the referee cameras gives you a really good idea a lot of times of what they're looking at, the angle that they're looking at, any support too from the assistants.
Conversation continues. Brandenburg just justifying his thoughts on this.
If the ball fell in front of Rodriguez, you would think that would maybe change the look of the decision of the official. The fact that he wasn't able to reach it. Great run, like I said, and putting himself in those positions are really difficult. And as well as expecting a cloud from that big man, you don't want to get right into it.
And Christian Martinez with 4 goals for his side this season at club level. It's actually the youngest goal scorer in Columbus Crew's MLS history on his debut 10 years ago. It's a 19-year-old. A little bit of football in the United States, Cincinnati, Chicago Fire, Las Vegas Lights, amongst others. Half-time is on the horizon. Tracing for the opening goal by Senas. Warned by a few thousand to hurry up a little. Rocha Martinez, that's his out again, and once again, to again. Up on his feet just to see the strike, which was a little wild, go high and wide for Ramos.
Great work. They have some good width, Panama, when they deliver balls in from both sides of the park. That's a good ball. The goalkeepers as well again. He's had a few challenges and a really good save in the first half here.
Well, it is physical out there, isn't stuck in. Didn't get a chance. Few of those Panama players who are waiting for their moment to shine. Not quite, perhaps, up to speed after injury to play. Aníbal Goro, who we saw there, and Alberto Carrasquilla as well. Another one who's missed the last couple of warm-up matches with injury and therefore might just have to wait a little bit longer. Godoy, of course, Panama's most capped player of all time, 159 caps, the 36-year-old.
He's been a very good performer in Major League Soccer over the years. Well represented the league here in this World Cup.
Got to scurry back in now. All hands to the pump for Ghana. Martinez manages to dig the cross out. And Rusu trying to welly it away. There's an awful lot going in that direction in this first half.
There has been. I mean, Panama, other than scoring, have done a pretty good job controlling this match. And like I said, the league is very good. They just basically put men on the touchlines on their side and really relying on their goalkeeper. Considering he was been short in this first half and probably having a little bit more work to do than he would have had. For all the right reasons, yeah, it's been really the city and the team fans of both sets coming together and just really enjoying themselves and enjoying the occasion. That's what I said, the World Cup is all about that. And it's, now the games are underway, it's been delightful.
So many Ghana shirts and Panama shirts strolling around Toronto in the last couple of days. Rodriguez, Blackman in support, just gave him too much to do.
They're very good at creating these, goalkeeper down. Ziggy's on the deck. In Panama, playing these little overloads on either side of the pitch when they switch it so well. They get support across, which brings some space for them. Get balls in the box, which they've done on several occasions, and that's why maybe the goalkeeper has picked up an knockdown because he's come for 3 or 4 brilliantly well.
This, of course, is where those in reserve start to wonder if it might be their chance at a World Cup. Of course, previously we've seen a goalkeeper perhaps go to ground. We've been sceptical about their welfare. And teams have rushed across to the side to have an extra tactical conversation. That's not allowed in this World Cup. The players very much have to stay in the middle of the field or in their positions.
You can see the fourth official actually doing that with a few of the players that were just wandering over toward the bench, but it's not allowed. I think it's a good rule. An angle of one of the collisions that he's had, 3 or 4.
Those clashes, the first of them 11 minutes ago, he's had a fair while to sort of see if the body is working the way he would like it to work. There's been a big conversation about goalkeeping from a Ghana point of view. Joseph Anang and Benjamin Assar are the two on the bench who would don the gloves if required. It's the 30th cap for Lawrence Atizigi tonight. Says he actually never wanted to be a keeper. He went in one day when there was no one else to do it.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. With all the knocks he's had so far in this match, maybe that was a good reason why not to, but he's been brilliant so far. And there was question marks about goalkeeping for this side coming in too, so far so good.
Good challenge there to sweep the ball away. Suleimana. Milenshi, and then the touch forward by Nuama, who was taken down. Still a look towards Carlos Harvey there by the referee.
We haven't seen Panama get on the wrong side of people yet. Everybody haven't had any fouls. They've done a very good job in the way they've been able to stay on their feet, not committing. And really, you have to be honest, Ghana have created absolutely nothing so far in this first half. They look a side that is struggling in some confidence.
But they haven't had an attempt on goal yet, Ghana. And no team has got a whole half without an attempt at this World Cup final so far. Maybe this is their moment. Nuama. Worth the wait, was it? Offside flag there in any case, but it was way off target by Serena.
Semenya was very impressed with that himself. Good position from Panama. Really where they are defensively. Switching up to the halfway line. Terrific ball.
Until that moment, Antoine Semenya had not had a touch of the ball for over 20 minutes. The 22nd minute, the last time he touched the ball. And we're now in added time, a minimum of 5 minutes at the end of this half. You did wonder whether he might perhaps play a little more centrally today than he does for Manchester City or in the past for Bournemouth, just because they might want to build the play around him, but that's not the case. Although he's started to move more central now.
And that's where I would think he would be at his best. Quite honest, I think we'll see that more in the second half. Get him on the ball.
The warm-ups continue because Lawrence Atizigi is not necessarily 100% comfortable. Half-time will be interesting. He'll get a chance to be properly, thoroughly assessed. Nuama and Rodriguez right there with him, pestering him all the way. Now the battle resumes going in the other direction. Sanea helping out.
Oh boy. Look up something else just for sometimes tomorrow.
You fucking idiots.
Can actually set the game. The Walmart, Panama's got their hold obviously on these players. They're the ones that are going to hurt you. Tight this time heading through the way out. A sloppy free kick.
Little going forward in this first half, but this is a presentable opportunity for them. It is a packed penalty area. It's a decent delivery, and it's seen away just about. Owusu keeps it alive and can do nothing with it. And that is half-time. To an end of first half in which Panama have had more of the ball and carried more of the threat, but without reward as yet. Cecilio Waterman going closest, but Lawrence Atizigi sprawling to say to deny him. Wonder what we'll see in the second half from these two. At the break, it's Ghana 0, Panama 0.
Right here. Well, your safe block is right here. Right here. Don't trust you. Okay, along the silver right here. Your gripper is right there.
Dare to Dream halftime game show brought to you by Flow, Red Stripe, Coca-Cola.
I swear the gripper's right there. You swear, bro? If you're lying, I'm coming straight to your house and taking every single dollar from your wallet. Whoa, 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 not my 17 cents. Okay, your creeper's right here. Your creeper's right here. Alright, I'll believe you then. Okay, I'll also go right here. Go! Oh, let's go! We're so truthful. You really didn't want to lose your 17 cents. Your TT is right here. Right on this block. Right here? Well, your safe block is right there. Right on that block. Oh, I'm safe right here? You pinky promise if I know down here I'm safe? I pinky promise, bro. We're best friends. I would never lie to you. You're right. You're so truthful. I'll go down here then. I'll go over here.
At the end of the first 45.
Do it! Do it!
Welcome to the halftime show of Dare to Dream, where coverage of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Toronto Stadium, Panama versus Ghana, 0-0. Andrew, what did you make of the first 45?
Panama having the dominance of the play in terms of trying to be more proactive with the ball, trying to pass the way around, mainly to the sides with the two wing backs pushing very hard field, because they played a 5-4-1 out of possession, but in possession, like a 3-2-5, really expansive, trying to get the ball in wide areas. Not enough in front of the goal. They had one good shot from Waterman early in the game, about 6-7 minutes in, but they haven't been able to really threaten the goal so far. And Ghana having some struggles. One key thing going to notice, when the goalkeeper did that into the last time, Antoine Semenyo moved from a left wing position to play now as a number 10, because they're struggling to get the ball out to him, for him to create anything. It's no best in Kyrgios's mind as a coach. Put him as a number 10 and then you can have him an IU linking up.
Please don't
Yeah,
stick
not
with
quite
the
a
Sean
snoozer,
Pencil. I'm
you
going
know,
to
but
tomorrow.
not the most exciting game we've seen in
But
terms
real
of
pencil, you have any
goal
answer,
most
Sean.
excitement. But I think that clearly you
For
can
me,
see
did if you
the
give the Sean Pencil, I
disparity
can buy a 50 or I can
in
buy
the
a pencil
ranking
for you.
between these two teams. I think Panama look the better
When you buy a
team
pencil then?
in terms of territorial advantage and the way they seem to be structured their attacks going forward. But you know, Ghana, they have probably the bigger name players who you think, you know, outside of the structure, how the team is playing. There's always the possibility of these super talents, you know, coming up with something special at any given moment. But at the moment, I think both teams deserve to be 1-0 down. Yeah. But bigger names necessarily don't mean they're better teams, and it's certainly proving here at this World Cup.
I was just making the observation that with the likes of Jordan Ayew and Semenya and people playing at a higher level, maybe Ghana would have that edge. But as a team, Panama seems to be more structured and organized and a little bit more cohesive.
I think this gives even more credence to stability in terms of national team.
Correct.
Thomas Christensen, Panama's coach, been there for 6 years.
Correct.
I remember one of his first games was in Jamaica, the stadium, in the 2022 World Cup qualifiers. And then they have one of the oldest teams in the World Cup. So it's players with that experience now. About 7 or so Panamanians are from the 2018 World Cup. Wow. Juxtapose that now to Ghana, they have 8 players from the World Cup in 2022. They didn't qualify for AFCON. So 8 out of 26 players. That means that 14 are not about the match, 18 players are new to tournament football, and you can see it in the play. So they start their coach in March. When they lost 5-1 to Austria and 2-1 to Germany. So Kyrgios has only been in for 2 months. I think it's that sort of stability versus instability.
I think it's fair to say that none of these teams will make a lot of noise going forward in the tournament. Can I put it?
And it's a fair point to make, because remember at the start,
just looking at them,
we mentioned that this is a must-win for both teams. Because finishing third still doesn't guarantee you going through enough.
Yeah,
Gives you a chance.
just gives you a chance. Necessary. And also, you know, with the absence of midfielder, Thomas Partey, they also have a little ways to go where that is concerned. But of course, the stats from the first 45 minutes between these two teams: 58% possession for Panama, 35% for Ghana, 7% in contest. No attempts so far for Ghana. 3.
Sean said turn on that I'm watching the TV. Oh boy, this thing is of creature to me. So sweet.
Dare to Dream halftime game show brought to you by Flow, Red Stripe, Coca-Cola, KFC, Suppligent, Sunshine Snacks, and Water.
Introducing Flow 5G.
It's the halftime, guys, so we got the match to start back. Oh my.
They catch the most important things and balance it all with a smile. Our agility is legendary, but it comes from years of training with the best. So no matter what, when it comes to giving our all, that's where we shine.
Dare to Dream halftime game show brought to you by Flow, Red Stripe, Coca-Cola, KFC, Suppligent, Sunshine Snacks, and Water.
Third entries, another stat. Total entries, Panama edging Ghana under 28 to 27. And the total time, here you see, we got a minute 15 to a minute for Ghana. So Panama, more entries and more time spent in the final third of their opponent's half. Andrew, very telling stat that CONCACAF team leaning towards the AFCON.
Yeah, and you have an area to feel like all the half spaces. You can just look at the screen and see that you're between the 6-yard box and the 18-yard box. You notice the numbers are pretty low there, which means teams are defending those areas because those are like prime assist areas. They get in those areas, you can look to create good assists or good opportunities to score. I was going to say if I was the Panamanian coach coming back into the second half of the game, I'd want my team to be a little bit more penetrating. which that graphic kind of supports that argument because yes, they're going down the sides a lot, but then we have to be crossing to a team that's sitting and facing everything. You want to get between the midfielders and the defenders as much.
What as a coach, now, what you don't say today? If you're the Ghanaian coach, now, what you do? You know, they look a little bit, not totally disjointed, but not as organized, let's say, as the Panama.
I think from Ghana's perspective, it's not working in terms of the fluency or even getting the ball to pull it up in the half. The IU and Semenyo behind is a good strategy or a good move. It's now, rather than trying to play out, to get it to them. So we'll be a little bit more direct sometimes. That will push Panama back and then offer you more space so you can start to play. But you never know what can happen with being direct and
you know they have the pace
and the quality. Have the pace and look at Menu has the strength and power. That's what you'd want to
That's what you want at times, aren't you? Have you doing anything?
Titles don't make you
well, listen, as you play a big coach, you can't question him actually. Well, of course, quick predictions, Ghana, Panama, they'll be looking to go ahead and get the win, but quick prediction.
50% Panama should win, but I'm going to stick to my 1.
1-1?
Yeah, sticking to my Panama win.
Panama winning. All right, so when we get out of here and head to the Toronto Stadium, we won't have a post-game show, but we will have our first show at 10 a.m. where Czechia, they're going to face off against South Africa. We start second set of matches in the group stage, and then we have Canada versus Qatar. That's the Group B action. Then we have some delayed games where Switzerland faces Bosnia and Herzegovina, and then our second delayed game, co-host Mexico, as they're going to battle South Korea. So those are the matches that we'll have tomorrow. So we're going now to the Toronto Stadium, where it's the second half action between Panama and Ghana.
Broadcast of the FIFA World Cup brought to you by...
You need to see a winner, some might argue, because of the quality of the other two teams in this group. Ghana starting as they mean to go on after a relatively sleepy first half from their point of view.
Yeah, Panama was much sharper in all areas. Winning the second balls, winning the first. Some lively individuals. Martinez, Rodriguez, excellent, knocking in the right positions, crosses into the box. The goalkeeper, his 50th appearance, still has very little to do with anything.
Benjamin Ashale we saw there in the Ghana goal for the second 45 minutes. Having watched that first half, you'll know physically what to expect, perhaps. As that ball is thrust into the box by those in Panama red. The oncoming goalkeeper is the only home-based player selected in Ghana's squad for these World Cup finals, and he knows how painful literally and mentally injury can be, having missed 18 months of football a few years back with a broken leg. Some doctors in fact even told him that he might want to just give football up altogether, and here he is now at a World Cup.
Yeah, he's still probably trying to figure out whether it's the pressure it's what he's feeling, or whether it's just the anticipation and the excitement and all these different things together. In a very high-pressure situation for a goalkeeper, of course, with the last man in defense.
5 clean sheets in 6 World Cup qualifying games as well, so he's got the confidence of knowing he's hard to beat behind him. As Ghana look to the first meaningful attack of this second half. Suleiman helping on his way in
step ready goal for Ghana on that occasion. Decent ball in. Not a ton of pace on it. Hard to get some power on the header. Keeper saves it comfortably.
Jonas Jetty, who is yet to score on the international scene. His career in its infancy really at 22 years of age. Here comes the cross, which is guided away by Mensah. Played once in the last World Cup, he assisted Mohamed Kudus' winning goal in the group stage victory over Korea. Ojo with the throw. Towards Waterman. Look for Martinez. Given against him by the official. It's near side.
The assistant spotted the handball, I believe, just jumped up and hit his hand and advantage from it. Good high line for Panama defensively. They know the difficulties they would have if they were sitting deeper. Those headers are coming in from a lot closer. Jetty gets his effort on target. Sciarra does very well and just gathering that simply.
Well, it'll be a painful watch for him in the second half. Lawrence Atizimi, having been involved right in the middle of the heat of the battle at times in that first half. From his point of view, from his country's point of view, from just a human point of view, you hope that he's okay to carry on as the tournament continues. Ghana take on England next in Boston. And here they go looking for something. An optimistic hit from Yerenchi. With the greatest respect to him, they perhaps wouldn't have wanted that kind of opportunity to fall his way for a regular goal scorer by any means.
No, and it was a good opportunity too, certainly a half chance to get something on target, but this failed Ghana again.
We are seeing more though from those in yellow at the start of this second half than we saw in the first. Are you keeping Martinez at arm's length? Jetty. Semenya very much front and centre here as the attack unfolds, although there's far too much on that for him. Sulemana. Free to look for in the middle if he can wriggle free, which he can't. Nicely done by Mauricio.
Brilliant defense. Frustrating the wide players for Ghana.
Martinez moved on eventually to Waterman by Savi. Needs a bit of support and it's arriving now. Waterman runs in the middle. Blackman might fancy a go. Moved on by Barcenas. Martinez into the mix. All promising from a Panama point of view.
Yeah, excellent interchanging of positions and some vision there. You can tell these players are well rehearsed and played an awful lot of football together. Just lacking a finished product.
He wants the ball back, he gets it for Barcenas. Just trying to find that half a yard. Rodriguez fizzes that one across. And yes, he made sure that it didn't fall to somebody in red who was ready to pass. Rodriguez for Martinez for Rodriguez. Sally has to come and does. An authoritative punch which sets Ghana on their way. Jordan surrounded, overpowered. Panama start again.
Panama play good. Ghana. We do have nothing in your country, no? Oh, we cook rice, no?
So much vocal encouragement swirling around the grounds. The fans on both sides of the fence. Rodriguez. It's rather taken out for Waterman. Has to stay strong with that jet in his back. Semenyo trying to make it his. Sulemana. Waiting for Vincent to join in. Moved a fair bit in the air. Certainly have Mosquera concerns.
The match should have between England and England was a really nice one. But in the half time, when it was 2-2, but England come out in the second half and scored 2 penalties.
We've had 4 attempts
It was a nice
in the second
game.
half, which is already as many as we saw in the whole of the first. But we're playing 9 minutes since the restart.
Maybe if you see, because they decide to go to appear.
Scarra wasn't comfortable with that, wasn't sure it was
Based on
down.
what we see at the half time, I said, well, 2-2, so they have a really good game. And I said,
Nobody took a chance for Ghana to get on the end of it.
You could see for a moment there the nerves took hold until the big screen came into sight. It's the kind of game where we either have seen or will see the real mixture of emotions. Some in the crowd so proud of their country being here that maybe they get lost in the moment. Don't necessarily shout as loud as they might. Forget all of that and just give it everything.
These players are getting up on the moment, of course, every loose ball, every throw in, every header that needs to be absolutely bang on. Group stage, 3 games. This game is so important to these two sides, so small.
As I mentioned, Ghana go to Boston to take on England next. Panama stay here in Toronto to face Croatia. New Jersey for Panama against England and Philadelphia for Ghana against Croatia. Here go Panama. Rodriguez on the ground. Blackman on the ball momentarily. And a goal kick for Ghana is the end result. Movement for Ghana here, and a couple of changes to be made by Carlos Queiroz. Ernest Nuama, who was lively in those early exchanges, understandably withdrawn early in the game in the second half after such a long layoff for him. Brandon Thomas Asante emerges. He's had a wonderful season with Coventry City in the English second tier, winning promotion to the Premier League. Sulemana also leaving the field with Patawu of Leicester City replacing him. Harmlessly backs away. Patawu certainly has the eye for the spectacular and so often produce. Samoa Joe will just be hoping that Ghana can be a little bit more threatening in the second half. How they'd love to have a form Samoa Joe in their side today.
Yeah, and then you just look at these individuals that you have up top. Jordan Iwu, he really scores well at international level. Sharp. Semenyo as well. So Panama had to be aware of that opportunity and just in a flash, one chance. You find yourself behind.
Rodriguez. Against the Jetty. Martinez on the kick for Waterman. Martinez here! Well, from his point of view, the wrong side of the net. But just for a moment, quite a few thought that was the opener.
But it certainly did. It was close. It just gets that away from him. The first touch was off. Closed down so quickly. He's reaching forward a little bit, trying to get in on target, but he can't quite get it up high into the top corner near post. Some fans thought it was in. They were so close.
For those in the stands, it was in until it wasn't. And in truth, it never was. Thomas Asante down. And a free kick forthcoming. Not that long ago, he was playing in the English non-league system. Now here he is in the World Cup finals. And a very swift rise up the ranks in the English Football League, the EFL. Now, with the Premier League beckoning for he and Coventry City. There he is again, showing why he's been such a hot property. A lovely touch.
Yeah, he's lively. Had a great season under Frank Adler, my old teammate at Coventry City. Who's had a really good year with the championship and into the Premier League once more.
So Azarias Londoño there, who is going to be introduced in a moment. Centre forward waiting to be introduced. Could have gone anywhere. Had to be helped behind by Mosquera. After the galloping run from Sanea. Jetty looks favourite to glance that one goalwards in the air. So the changes, Cecilio Waterman, the veteran frontman, is the first to make way. There's Mahalo, his replacement, and the energetic Christian Martinez also makes way for Azarias Londoño. Two centre forwards brought onto the field. An attacking move by Panama to make this game their own.
Well, they told us Richardson certainly understands the importance of this, as we've talked about, to get a result. And 3 points is so important. They've had the most of the play, just lacked up a little bit of cutting edge in the following third. Better fresh legs. We saw a similar type of thing with Canada against Bosnia when they attacked the players and really went for it in the second half. Panama seems to be doing the same here. We'll see how it works out.
Oh, you don't even tell me. Yeah, how we done, yeah, how we done. Yeah, I use my camera, yeah. That's what I said. Oh! What she, oh, I told him that the time where I said, I want you to put it on fire. Yeah, remember now. And then Carrie said, eventually, because people want more cabbage. You guys have watched this remember something. Remember, so to shortly after we was up shot, they gave me to you.
Very simple for him.
He's long picked up field this. Look at his head. What an eye you clear. Up against Panama.
After this, now set up a live on both sides and we go to yes, you best here. You best stand and Colombia will play. Now try to watch it. They normally show the first 14 minutes and then show the full 14
Quickly,
minutes.
we see that on both sides. Either attackers on either side have been able to get that half yard to get a chance at goal. That early one we saw, small save by the goalkeeper.
And last-ditch defending prevents an almost certain Ghana opener.
I got to admit, I thought Ramos got caught on the wrong side. He got a little bit ball watching, comes right across the face, and he does just enough to get in front of Jordan Ayew. Good clearance in the end. A split second, a little bit further in front.
Abdul Fatah on corner duty.
Sean, turn on that, man.
Pretty much everyone else racing in onto it. Semenyo's touch. Optimistic penalty shot, perhaps. Coming together on a Koku.
You know what is there, man? When we look at the second half, we're not quicker than the first half. I remember you kids. Don't it? Yeah. Yeah.
Enough players in red back to put up the shutters. They're much better from Ghana. They picked up the pace a little bit, so then they were centre trouble for these centre backs. Yes. The substitutes have made a difference as well. Ghana, the sheet looks much better for them.
Which kind? The kind of one the one is one.
Now for Taro, it's a re-attack all of a sudden.
Yes, I'm going to on the bump.
Races forward. Might fancy it here. He does!
What does it have now?
Well.
It's...
That would have been quite the moment for the centre half. No kidding, it was absolutely brilliant. Here's a look at what the appeal from Ghana was in the penalty box.
It's nice, so it's now?
Not an awful lot there.
Almost 7:20 now. Okay, so what's the point here? Okay, yeah.
The final action before we take a hydration break here in Toronto.
So come out of the artist today. You care about something like that one week, huh? Then ask people, what reason being? Three more use the silver. The
Goal is in, but not for the want of trying.
I can't find it.
Both sides since the restart. Yeah, looks better from Ghana. Like to see the refinement now. For our players, maybe a couple of very good substitutions that have made certainly some positive in strides in this match as well, and created a couple of chances. Panama's got to be a little bit aware as they come back into this game. Panama also the oldest squad in the tournament, so at 30 years of age on average, it's really to see the pace that they've played at. I'm sure this hydration break came at a very good time for them. To get the all important words across for both coaches as both sides take on extra fluids. We've seen more from Ghana, far more in this second half. But Jordan Idle might still be thinking, how on earth he didn't tap that one in. Yeah, it was really good defending him. And like I said, he got kind of beat on the inside. So it's as though he had a bit of space, but just not quite in front of him to be able to get that tap in. Some of the defending of this match has been good. You can't get away from both sides of it. Solid defensively. That many clear-cut opportunities. And that's why we are as we are. Goalless so far. But with both sides very much looking for that breakthrough now. Looking.
Yes, Ghana said, oh, now we're dance.
Positivity about in Toronto. And we thought that maybe that could be the case. You know, that you see a little bit of unity in the first parts of the game and playing on some lose if you like, and then later parts of the game actually going for it. We've seen that with some substitutions. It appears that both teams.
She was driving last Friday night, Cincinnati, and a small Christmas tree. Going home to see mama and daddy with a baby in the seat. 50 miles from she was running. She got a long mind, she didn't pay attention, she was falling. Wait, so much, I said the P. Graham showed it, you know, and not one time I see the something good. I'm not rich, but the best people like the next 4 years. Never know to maybe more about go change Father God. But if I say God have to pay for once, pay for watching, pay for watching. Can't take them back glitch. It just kill the intensity of the game. Most of my team and my Brazil are playing is exactly get me cross and the miserable man. I want to create the post game show. I said, no, I'm not sitting good shape. As we are watching sitting now in this squad. By the time I look, maybe we got 5 goals scored. Now go to such person, when I call him such person, in what talk about, in call the person, I can't do woman. You can't come for some of this. this man.
All this over one something.
Like at the time was 0-0. I don't know if by time it glitched in the body square. Is it something like 1-1 a while ago?
Yeah?
It's the 190 or something to get put the base that put us like that because it's kind of the good shit. You're not really a big football fan, but if the game nice, you still watch it. You know what I mean?
Fat and bleaching. You know, some family go over this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what.
One year, I have some people come in and then come listen to the game and they make, with them going. But anybody go see like France, this machine, or Anderson on TV, I'm not forgetting, and then people there will stay. Yeah, but I said them not TV them not time for you listen to that glitch. Because they can't find someone they can actually hear it. This is AI man, somebody use him, but if not about way.
When they get 4 in this school it.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Thank you.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah, listen to him.
The middle same, they know film some can't
Really well.
Yeah.
And film
One time. Yeah.
1 time, then they do 45 minutes.
Not good enough.
And must that do some extra to something. And he said, no danger, the 5 minutes are gone and no.
Yeah.
Guys have. Well, he says he's under
Yeah, man, want to ask me. You're danger.
pressure trying to adjust.
Mommy, you're lucky. 26,000 people are watching.
On the target.
It's a joke. When I make a piece of money for this year, of course, remember when in Rangbang, people desperate for one year the football. You see them something here? You have some people love football, so remember this is called desperation. Because sometimes I'll meet too. The way Chumolo always said about me, but you have one of the AM and the Chumo can't find them, one of them in the sub bad. You will see if I treat the something there, in the treat. If I want it there, I want a half time until they say, for the something you see him put say half time. You know, you will show till they say until you see him and you watch over, I just read the recap. So you decide if you want to stay and see the recap AI people there.
Let's do Murillo here. Being red in the middle. Tiptoe his way past Benson.
I just can't be bothered. I swear. I remember the two grandma, I know, it all one too, I know, sometimes I want to side too. Them thing that too, them take long to come to the game, just like glitch too. So now with this alone a glitch.
You don't know, say you're friend. So what, everybody? So you do go back. Don't use, you get back use.
So you do carrot top potato? Is it Sean? No, sir. This one crowd, say, if I did go a road and nobody was taking coming for you, I wouldn't go away. Anything you own? Sacrifice, I don't sacrifice it. You take him time and pay for the tablet there?
Little boy, it's cute, you can see it now.
Yeah.
Then you look proud, you see the people there.
You're going to do like what the look boy say. The man. Can't be obsessed with something. It's the reason why, it's the number one reason why you don't like school. Teacher not doing nothing. It was a fret on the tablet. He's trying to turn them back because they want to kill him in a minute. Something.
Sean, come up, come to, let me go.
And here looking to press and then into retreat. Just over 10 minutes to play, plus whatever is added on. Semenya
One thing, man.
watched very closely, indeed, understandably so. Antonio keeping an eye.
Yeah, man, easy though. They must say, if you think about, go out to the chaka.
One goal to draw at this final so far. The wonderful result for Cabo Verde up against the much fancied Spanish side. So far it's been a tournament full of intrigue, full of headlines, full of wonderful goals. Under 43,000 here in Toronto tonight to witness these sides going head-to-head, looking for that advantage in the final moments. Brandon Thomas-Asante in the middle, waiting for the cross here from Fatawu with Marcellus across to slow it down.
In fact, that Ghana have more players pushing the defenders of Panama, accommodating those defenders, almost pushing them into a back five in the defensive zone. Whereas before they could do it with three, and only Ayu was really the one that was threatening, or the one that was the focal point, and they dealt with that brilliantly well. So the changes have worked. The threat is there for Ghana as it wasn't before.
Nice.
Having a real element of energy there, attacking from deep. Reminding the players of their responsibilities time-wise with these throw-ins. If you don't release the ball within 5 seconds, it goes to the other team. And at this time in a game that's been so tight, that kind of turnover could be costly. Panama's turn to attack. Metzler watching it and winning it back. Siba turns 28 in just a little over a week. Trying to play it into the path of Mensah. Wrench's challenge, advantage played, and there's movement here from Harvey. And Ghana were well stopped at the back.
We needed to show a little bit of patience there. We have an awful lot of support. No reason to rush to hurry that pass in the game. Ghana just rolled up.
That's just a great illustration of how this game has ebbed and flowed one way and then the other. down through the years, they've scored 4 goals in the last 10 minutes of matches.
Is it like Grandma?
Sivo. Gideon Mensah. Sivo again. Give it to Pahalo and then whipped it away. Howard unable to find a way past Blackburn. But he's losing patience with Ghana, who are taking their time with these throw-ins. For Panama heading for a clean sheet here as it stands. They conceded 11 goals in 3 games in their last World Cup Finals appearance 8 years ago. Stopped in his tracks by Ramos.
Give it 4 minutes, Grandma.
Marcenas, just that calm, composed figure in the middle of the park who just knits it all together. Jersey underneath that one.
The 84 minutes gone into the game already. 6 more minutes left. And the 90 minutes come in extra time.
We're in proper gambling territory now, aren't we? 5 minutes to play. You have a point in your hand.
5
Do you
minutes long.
risk turning it into 3 or do you hold it tightly?
Well, at this point, let's say
Everybody's scored now. I
they
don't
just
know what
swerved
to
and
do.
say that in the first half. Much better. Substitutes for
But I had a team of what child catch up.
effect on the match in a positive manner.
Anybody score now?
Showing the depth of the match.
Well, I mean,
But right now, no team in this World Cup, Mama, don't feel no way because let me get inside them.
great energy.
Una get drawn, the fan, when it says Spain, it have one top notch. This is that notch, that came. Mommy, want to give the man, the coach from Coach Verdi, I want to see the man of a story. Him could have hardly find money to something like a bike. Like visa, something to the afford. And it have must about 5,000. We have 5,000 subscribers followers also. The man gone with 50, no, the man have 50 million. 50 million followers now. But the money never start make now. They will start to post nothing like that, Grandma. And I'm going to remember say him have Spain. Locked.
Plenty waiting for the cross. Marcenas will call that. And it was always likely to sail over the top.
Yeah.
Ghana will make a final change.
Yeah, plus the national team, Grandma, the one play football, Grandma, season.
The player to come on.
The football money, she put season. You know the football, something like the money, people send money for them, the help out. Not the people, not the money, not like that. The government there. I will save in a power.
Yet to win in his 5 previous caps for Ghana.
Yeah, man.
To the draw.
Hey,
Draw coming in now.
the way all you
Michael
kind,
Warnock getting in
I'm
Wales.
going to go back stupid. You see, you're stupid, I'm going to the way all you kind. You right now use the most kindness of a boy I've ever met in my life. You're kind, you're so kind to your mother. Really, a fine pitney like you were kind, so. You know me? Yeah, man.
Marcenas once again.
Sean is exceptional. Tell him,
Exceptionally kind.
Sean, Kwame can't hide himself now. As he want to become something. So Lord make him play. Go play, Lord make him study.
Lost it.
Lock the door and make a young man study. Lock the door.
And Thomas Asante's after it here.
Oh.
You can travel with it, by the way.
Okay, come on to Kwame study. You know, we like the body bad eye.
Upon him.
Because I come like the body trouble me with the lives and the body bad eye when men not even one more. Stop, slam something, boy. We're annoying, so.
Something. I wish the something at the door moved.
Samas moves it on. Repelled once again by Ghana. As we close in on the 90th minute. By Semenyo, and now one of the counter, I wonder. Here is Semenyo. Brandon Thomas Asante charging through. Is this the moment for Ghana? Well, the flag will go up belatedly. He did look to have gone a little soon, but in the end it all became a little irrelevant because he couldn't finish.
Exactly. I thought he was offside with the first look at it as well, but the official and the assistant are going to keep that flag down because it was unnecessary to put it up. There it is there. Just a half a step. Thomas Asante in on the goalkeeper. Yeah, does a good job. Good shape. Squaring up to it. Brilliantly done. But a good strong run. There was a potential foul that they were looking for. Thomas Asante wasn't given. Panama broke away.
International appearance. He will be part of this Panama reference in added time.
Sean, I'm heartbroken. No, because it's not going to be able to want to go, but me and Maverick said something today. I'm never a team about it. You say, you can't really judge sometimes when the match them from people first match. They don't know them go out with their second match. And don't really judge nobody to the first match. They know all the second match are going to play out. You understand? And it's not like we just see me want them to first impression last or whatever. But let's say me expect better skill, but they don't know. They may go down to the drawing board and he tells the next match theme may be something different. Sometimes you can't go to underestimate. I say, I want to put aside this, so we're not really put much effort in that, you know, thinking on a formation, like that. He's the goal for that side. And we all them not good, and both of them have to go and forget themselves in. I play enough team, you have to play enough to get, we never get through. So can't go to play somebody else and then never play Jamaica. So, you don't know how the fighting spirit, what them have like them, you understand, moms?
The outfield players piling into that penalty area. Attack against defence. For a moment in isolation here. And it's well seen away. No foul is the verdict. So on go Ghana.
The two centre backs for Ghana have been brilliant. Ajeti and Opoku just eating up everything that's coming in the box. You know,
they say, oh, me, I see them ball players. God knows, Father God knows best. Father God knows best for Jamaica.
Abdul Quatawu.
If it's God's will, it's
header away with Thomas Asante ready to pounce on that. What who is right in the thick of it.
Imagine Jamaica. Exactly. I want Chris to play what they are.
I feel like they're hungry. Like, they want, I'm so hungry. Then let's go eat.
Yeah, Curacao don't play too bad, but them get 7. So Curacao and Brazil, them are the book of 7.
Yes.
Wait a minute. If they come out to 7 arguments, we side get 7, we shut my mouth.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Now where's the
Don't know
armband
my
up to
team
lead the
get
fight?
7 already, so. Call a key, tell them, say, a Brazil world team. Them still going to tell us, say, don't do the garbage man. Everybody, they could have got, anybody could have got score. I'll go.
There aren't many out there at the moment. Almost got away. Matthew Barcenas, who always seems to be free, ready to collect possession.
Tomorrow, Grandma, remind me tomorrow, please. Check here, I want country play tomorrow, remember.
Diaz, nicely worked. The cross is overcooked. Jurecek.
What's the matter about?
Poking it forward to
Cricket?
London, Thomas Asante. It skips away from cornerback. Ghana could be in business.
Like, so people want to watch cricket? Like, can't believe say people go back to watch cricket. Maybe I hear that here, no, we're not Jamaica, go watch cricket. No, we're not cricket to me. Cricket again. So my last session, I tell you, she did go. The last time I see her, yeah.
Just about put it over for close range. And the Ghana bench was absolutely crazy. Carlos Brown gets it beating on in the second half. His substitutes have been brilliant because the first half, as we know, was not good enough. But they have the threats that can
Yes,
hurt
we
you.
know. Ghana scored. Yes, anybody score yesterday, by the way. Oh, wait, there's a bit, you ever said we can't become a coach? I think so we can't become a coach.
First competitive international goal
I think we can't become a
at
coach.
the World Cup
Where,
finals.
movie? You ever sign it? Where?
In the last moment. Magic.
Hey, movie? I'm in the sit down coach.
90 minutes, some have 6 minutes.
The minute I don't know.
Take on a fight.
He has put Panama to the floor here. They put so much into this game. It looks like it will be defeat again at the World Cup for those in red.
Yeah, so good.
They have a stoppage here because the shirt needs to be changed by the goal scorer. Spoke earlier on about how well he has tooted along the tightrope for so long after that early yellow card. His name's in the book for a different reason now. Who would have thought that?
Someone that truly loves me. Clearly, he hates me. Or in fact, this is the first time I'm
Likely scores over in the following fixed him, but now Ghana have got themselves in a very good position, but Panama is going to be desperate here. Throwing bodies forward. He's not happy with the start.
Well, they were ready to launch it there, Panama, but a few had just overstepped the line.
Yeah.
It's very simple. There are few seconds to go, so all those in red have to dart forward and hope for something to fall their way here. It's all about defence for Ghana. 6 added minutes as a minimum. We played 7. Only 2 left. screaming at the bench, asking to be allowed forward.
He's beginning the old clear. Here he comes.
An old-fashioned tussle for the ball. It goes the way of those in red.
Silly foul to get away in that dangerous area. They didn't really need to do it. It was unnecessary. Just go to the side and stand him up.
It's now or never for Panama. There's the one that's set up for Scares there. That's as well. And tempers flare as contact is made with the goalkeeper. It was there for the there. And it's a chance that just disappears from their grasp as a few start to lose their heads.
I want mommy.
Some of the time, some of the some picture, and that's it. That's it.
Can't thrust in the air towards Scott Harvey, I think.
What a moment. What a moment it was. And nearly when the goalkeeper gets a touch on it, heads it down to Diaz. Tough to get a lot of power on it, but header from that distance and then a little bit of power.
Let it get done. Sorry, Panama, because we don't want nobody to get hurt or nothing like that. You understand?
He will need treatment, so the game will continue. And the discussions, if we can call them that, are continuing in the centre circle. The referee going to check on the goalkeeper's welfare. And the two assistants having to dart into the middle to just calm a few.
It's like you have a knot like I might pass.
Header from Mosquera into Diaz. There's no lot there. They're going to complain about that.
I don't spite. Them give my yellow card still, but I don't spite.
His arms, same.
It has to let him jump. It's like it.
Yeah. The next game we can't go play. AJ,
Bearing in mind they've already lost
Aji,
to injury.
no one knows how much we have the 2 game of the sit out and what.
When you send an opposition goalkeeper forward for a set piece, how people can just lose their markers, lose their bearings, and sometimes lose a lead.
Yeah, you know, it is distracting because you work so hard on set pieces when you're marking out the reader, you're picking up, and then the goalkeeper comes into the fray, and then you don't know who's going to actually mark him, and how often do you see a goalkeeper get a free header? You do see that a lot. He does a good job knocking that back into the ATS, which he can
We have come on my area. Is that much of a man that come on with it? No, the reason being because me and Seven really actually must say yellow card need necessary because sometimes mommy as a video probably say something like when you say something they can't go lean into have for discretion. Because me a bonus sometimes things can happen. And it happens. What people really and truly happen.
Time still ticking. There's still an opportunity maybe for Panama here.
It can't happen that things happen.
They thrust it into the area. Benson will see that out. And that is that. Late wins are often the very best of wins.
Yeah.
Goalkeepers have seen so much in the game. But even nights like this, with goals so late like that, are so special to someone so experienced and someone only relatively recently through the door in charge of Ghana. A game that gave us plenty, in the end, is won by one late goal.
Broadcast of the FIFA World Cup brought to you by Flow, Red Stripe,
Thing there, but mommy, now have 2 more games. That's good. Sometimes I understand so no one win the first game, but when I have and the next at the last game at the have. And not have everybody, mommy.
You're pushing on
entitled of everybody entitled to play three games. Sometimes if you even lose one account and you win two, it's good. But where the trouble lies is if you end up and lose all two games.
With the community and work.
Yeah, but what play maybe the person who tie with you, you and him go back to it to see who are the better loser. But the loser, so who can become victorious.
Find them in your nearest appliance store.
Yeah, I know it's all the first thing that I know one thing that I empathize and I understand. But the really answer the push for the youth never did need it. And if the yellow cat never did need it, because it's not like say him deliberately.
The following program is
Sometimes
by children under the
I see things and sometimes them not fear.
In primetime news this evening, Cabinet Minister Dr. Andrew Fleeting legal hot water following Integrity Commission probe. Government says the USA did not force Jamaica to accept non-nationals reported from the USA, and members of the controversial St. James religious group found not guilty. Good evening and welcome to primetime news. Welcome also to our viewers on TV.
USA never forced them we
online at OneSpotMedia.com. I'm Dwayne Anderson. Here's also business news reports and sports commentary as well as weather in this the newscast. So please stay with us. The news in detail right after this break.
So them
Before the first party is made, there are hands that raise it, hands that grow it, hands that move it, hands that
they are, we're not going to know. I'm not going to tell you.
For Jamaica, by Jamaica. Through challenges and changing seasons, they stood strong. They built with us. They believed. To every farmer, every team member, every partner, thank you.
You're welcome. Every single farmer, every team.
Watch the games every time. Go up to $40,000 in savings. You purchase select smart TVs, recliners, and large appliances. Get it today with course-ready finance, and you can choose a payment plan that works for you. It's game on only at Course. Bringing value home. Offers end June 30th. Conditions apply.
A practical tip for efficient and safe food preparation. Brought to you by top quality meat, frozen veg, seafood and processed meat at affordable prices. Nation's choice, always your best value. Use the right knife. A chef's knife is versatile, while paring knives are great for small attacks. That was a practical tip for efficient and safe food preparation. Brought to you by top quality meat, frozen veg, seafood and processed meat at affordable prices. Nation's choice, always your best value.
Lucozade, bring the energy. Unbeatable taste, new look.
Me and Serena around and something that I've been doing myself. But yeah, if you hear the same thing, but you know what?
Online at OneSpotMedia.com.
The 12 was coming like Pungus one purpose, so I guess
This evening, the Integrity Commission has ruled that Cabinet Minister Dr. Andrew Fleeting be charged with 4 offenses, including illicit enrichment. The disclosure was made following an Integrity Commission report tabled this afternoon in the House of Representatives. Details in the report from Andrea Chisholm.
We have been hearing about the illicit aid. 8 parliamentarians being investigated for illicit enrichment. Illicit enrichment has to do with the public servants not being able to explain how they own assets which exceed their lawful earnings. And on Wednesday,
So
the Integrity Commission is
the
pointing the
premise
first finger at Dr. Andrew Wheatley, the minister without portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister, with responsibility for science, technology, and special projects. For the period 2013 to 2022, the Integrity Commission stated that the illicit enrichment was roughly $164.2 million. And when given the opportunity to explain how he came by such assets, a satisfactory explanation was not provided. The Integrity Commission also concluded that Dr. Andrew Wheatley failed to provide information concerning his statutory declarations for the years 2018 and 2019. He also failed to include 5 loans in his name, an investment on land in Stillwell, and full particulars of 20 properties owned jointly or otherwise. The Integrity Commission is therefore recommending that Dr. Wheatley be charged for knowingly making a false statement in a statutory declaration under 2 statutes, failing without reasonable cause to provide any information as required by the Director of Information and Complaints, as well as illicit enrichment. If convicted for illicit enrichment, he could face a fine of up to $5 million and or up to 5 years in prison. The Integrity Commission's report is also being referred to Tax Administration Jamaica to do an assessment and apply appropriate penalties. Why? Western Medical, a company in which Dr. Wheatley was the sole proprietor, earned between $15 million and $26 million between 2010 and 2013. However, nil tax returns were filed for 2011 and 2012 and no return for 2013. Andrea Chisholm, TVJ News.
And staying with this story, because the South Central St. Catherine Member of Parliament, Dr. Wheatley, is strongly rejecting allegations by the Integrity Commission that his assets are disproportionate to his income. In a statement issued today, Dr. Wheatley described the claims as false, inaccurate, and grossly misleading. The IP has alleged that over a 9-year period, his assets exceeding his lawful earnings by about $164 million. But Dr. Wheatley says the report failed to take into account approximately $168 million in rental income he says was lawfully earned and spent. He also argued that investigators overlooked legitimate loan payments linked to real estate business. The allegations and is confident he will be paid. Dr. Wheatley maintained that his assets were lawfully acquired and says he will defend his reputation in the courts. Now, he also